I got an idea. Let's start a business.
E92 warning signs are bright red flags that get to hide behind rose-colored glasses side.
E92. The BMW 355 is part of the 5th generation of the 3 Series range, with model designations ranging from E90 for the sedan to E93 for the cabriolet. This is the E92, which is the coupe model, sharing the middle of the entry-level luxury sandwich between the wagon-based E91. The E92 model was designed by BMW designer Mark Mitchell Markevka, alongside design partner Peter Gabath. Markevka was also famous for designing the 1 Series coupe and cabriolet models. At the time of its debut in 2006, BMW hyped up the 355i with a press release touting the new twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder engine with 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. In at least 3 different places in the press release, BMW repeatedly touts that this is unmistakably, unquestionably a 3 Series vehicle, recognizable from the very first glance. If any of our old riding professors had gotten hold of this thing, we would have gotten a 33% and a see me after class just for the sheer redundancy of it all. It's as if they lack confidence in what they created, and were trying like hell to convince anyone who'd listen that this deserved the blue and white checkers. No imagination in that writing. It's excessive. Excessive use of prefixes, too. Just that kind of stretched language that BMW drivers understand because their resumes are overflowing with the same word waste. What do? Oh, I'm the inside director of communicative electronic logistics. That means you answer phones. BMW notes that despite the technical ties to the sedan and sports wagons, the new BMW 3 Series Coupe is individualistic through and through. This just means that having a long hood means you're sticking your dick in a rich tradition of inline 6s and long wheelbases. But from an individualist perspective, this is BMW saying that you can have something popular without coming across as conformist. Now listen up, because this bit's important. In the same way people judge others who listen to pop music because it's a more straightforward, less complex musical standard, some car enthusiasts and casual consumers alike will judge a guy driving a new BMW because he's perceived as someone giving in to the peer pressure of what you're supposed to like. It used to be that popularity correlated with quality, but we're in an age where being popular means less for its quality than ever before. We're post-Bieber, post-Transformers, post-whatever. We have an instinct to distrust popular things because how can Final Fantasy be good if everybody likes it? But BMW is arguing that popularity or success shouldn't be cast as a negative on the integrity of a product. The E92 is good. The interior is a delightful place to be. And yes, it goes fast. And it astral projects the image of success. This features the BMW N54 engine, which is a direct injection turbocharged straight 6 that gets around 300 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. But the N54, or N54, is a classic tuner engine, so Alex, the owner, got the ECU tune, meaning this particular BMW is now making about 370 horsepower with 380 pound-feet of torque. But outside the ECU, flash aftermarket filters and an oil catch can, this car is pretty much stock, purchased 3 years ago from a manager at Sun Motors Audi. Alex describes this as a poor man's M3, and you can sort of see where he's coming from with this. This is the car for someone who just discovered the meaning of fiscal responsibility. You know, you want an M3, but you don't want to pay M3 prices. Well, here you go, have an E92. Because really, this is the kind of car you buy with all the money you save from no longer shopping at Whole Foods. Granted, it still has all the same issues that BMW has, and it's still more trouble than a girl named Anastasia. Which is mostly because it's a pain in the ass to do the work yourself. Changing spark plugs is a big hassle because you have to remove all the plastic covers and shine a light down to get to the damn things. And while the car is surprisingly great in the wintertime, it's kind of like a Subaru. It's never going to be easy to make seasonal mods simply because BMW is almost Apple-like in its inaccessibility. They don't want you to work on your own car. They want you to go to a dedicated BMW dealer or a BMW certified mechanic using BMW certified parts and BMW tools. It's not that it's impossible to learn how to work on your own BMW, but if you do, it'll save you a small fortune. But it all goes back to perception. and the understanding that popularity isn't always tied to questions of actual quality. It could just be about what it means to be seen driving a BMW. And it means you're not driving a Subaru WRX STI.
I got an STI with a Whalen Ward burner turbo that's bigger than your mom's leather handbag. And I got meth injection and I'm making 405 horsepower to the wheel.
Yeah, but you're still driving a car that feels like you're sitting on a dugout bench. And it sounds like a 19-year-old male getting denied sex. Yeah. If you spend enough money, a WRX will be just as fast as an E92 with all-wheel drive. And it will also now be as expensive as a BMW with all-wheel drive. And you know what's faster than a cashed-up bogan Subaru? A bone stock E92. And it's not like you're going to drive any better. I mean, driving this E92, I got some real insight finally about why BMW drivers are so disliked on the road. Okay, the stereotype is that they're aggressive and they cut lanes and they cut people off and they never signal and they never watch where they're going. Now, some of that is the car's fault. This has one of the most confounding electronic throttles I've ever driven. There is a lot of pedal travel for the first 1/2 of the entire pedal throw. You don't get any sort of semblance of power until you push that pedal halfway down. It feels like there's nothing there. It feels like you're pushing on air. Now, for the first half of the pedal travel on this E92, it's fine for driving your mom. You know, when you have to drive your mom and you know, okay, take it easy. Or you have a lot of people in your car and you're not going to drive fast. And then you never push the pedal down more than halfway. Okay, this makes more sense. Halfway, pushing the pedal down halfway only gives you about 1/8 of the amount of power the engine has, right? The amount that you're pushing that pedal down does not correlate to the amount of power the engine is giving to you. Right, because these are electronic throttles. There's no physical connection between your foot and the throttle body. So if you need to merge and do fast, you push it down halfway and it's like an invisible switch gets tripped and like, oh, we're going to go fast now. And then the E92 with the turbo, it's very fast. But you don't have that finesse. It's definitely not a linear power band. So if you know you have to go fast, you have a tendency to just floor it. Just give me anything. I don't care where the switch is, just go. And then from everybody else's perspective outside, this guy's accelerating for no reason. Well, that's because it's hard to find that happy medium with an E92. And also, the turn signals are weird. Weirder than you think. To keep that turn signal on, you have to push it up and hold it for a little bit. There's no satisfying click as it goes up. Again, it's just this weird electronic switch that has no, it feels like there's no detents in there for you to feel with your fingers as you move the lever. So if you're switching lanes, you can tap it and it returns. Oh, that's another stupid thing. This is one of those turn signal stalks that returns to center even when it's on. So you're not really, there's no tactile muscle memory thing to tell you that your turn signal is on. You just got to remember that it's there and then it self-cancels. It doesn't have that satisfying click as the entire switch returns to the middle. I'm spending a lot of time talking about these turn signals, but this is some legitimate physical evidence of why BMW drivers don't signal, because their turn signals are weird. So you can flick the turn signal and it will just it'll flash for 3 seconds. Just flick it, it'll flash for 3 seconds as if to initiate, say, that you're changing lanes. But sometimes it takes a while for you to change lanes, longer than like 3 seconds of flashing. And I can understand if I drove this car, I wouldn't even bother anymore. It would be so much of a pain. So I'd become one of those BMW drivers. Now, that's not to say the Subaru STI is better. It isn't. This is far more comfortable. And this is nice on the highway. Whereas a WRX STI is just... Let me smash. BMW is self-esteem Under Armour. You're cloaked in a brand identity you can wear like a second skin, projecting an idealized second self onto the world. A BMW is a beacon on the hill with 4 wheels underneath it, and that's what BMW wants for their popular perception among casuals. But the price of that perception is the expectation that because of that idealized popularity, the product must suck. LOL Vanos. because populism runs contrary to individualism. But what if it didn't? The 355xi won't rewrite history. It's not going to reinvent the wheel for what a performance-based, comparatively inexpensive luxury car can do. But you know what you're getting with a BMW. You know what kind of performance you're going to get, and you get a lot of it. But you know what kind of potential can be unlocked if you want to get under the hood, which is even more. It's true that not all popular things are quality, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop holding popular brands to a higher standard.
The fuel we have is running out. No story left to write. Everything is running low. A victim of the highs. I don't give a damn about if popular means right. I don't wanna win the round.